I'd like to introduce you to our fraternal committee chair, Mr. Joe Dahl, who also serves as Flag Day Committee Chairman. Joe, please post the colors.
Color guards, please post the colors. Now to sing the Star Spangled Banner will be Sandy Kurtz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated.
It's supposed to, isn't a pledge here somewhere?
Not here. Back there, maybe. I'd like to call up the Wallingford Elks officers. Members and guests, the purpose of this service is to honor our country's flag, to celebrate the anniversary of its birth, and to recall the achievements attained beneath its folds. It is quite appropriate that such a service be held by the Order of the Elks, an organization that is distinctly American, intensely patriotic, and without counterpart. Esteemed leading knight, What are the fraternal aims of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks?
To inculcate the principles of charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity. To promote the welfare and happiness of mankind. To uphold our country and its laws. And to quicken the spirit of American patriotism.
Esteemed Leading Night. What is the significance of the American flag?
For some reason, both of those came up at the same time. It is emblematic of the crowning virtue, charity.
Esteemed Loyal Night. What is the significance of the American flag?
It is emblematic of justice for all.
Esteemed Lecturing Night. What is the significance of the American flag?
It is a symbol of brotherly love.
Lodge Esquire. What is the significance of the flag from the station of the exalted ruler?
It is the symbol of fidelity.
Charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity are the cardinal principles of our order, and they exemplify in all of our services. By them, we teach love of country and of our countrymen, and the loyalty to the American way of life. To be an elk is to be an American citizen who lives for the country and is ready to die for it. Please stand. The chaplain will lead us in prayer.
Almighty God, in this hour of patriotic observance of the birthday of the American flag, we ask you to bless our flag and the people of these United States. For all that our flag represents, both at home and abroad, we thank thee, and that through all our history as a nation. It has been an ensign of freedom, liberty, and opportunity. And although the years to come, may this flag wave as the banner of liberty, freedom, and enlightenment. May this service bring to each of us a sense of loyalty to our country and enable us to be better patriots, truer citizens, and more loyal Americans. To thy glory and to the honor of this great nation. Amen.
Please be seated.
They all came out at the same time, so they
Okay.
can just stay there now. Turn it over to Tom.
Yep. That we may better understand the meaning of our flag, I call upon past District Deputy, Grand Exalted Ruler Tom Smith for the history of our flag. Tom?
Heraldry is as old as the human race. The carrying of banners has been a custom among all peoples in all ages. These banners usually contain some concept of the life or government of those who fashion them. The evolution of the American flag marks the progression of the government of the American people. From the founding of Jamestown in Virginia in 1607 until 1775, the flag of England was the flag for the peoples of America. In 1775, the pine tree flag was adopted for all colonial vessels, and this was the banner carried by the Continental forces in the Battle of Bunker Hill. Go. The southern colonies from 1776 to 1777 used the snake flag. In the latter part of 1775, the Continental Congress appointed a committee to consider the question of a single flag for the 13 colonies. That committee recommended a design of 13 alternate stripes of red and white, with an azure field in the upper corner, bearing the red cross of St. George and the white cross of St. Andrew. John Paul Jones, the senior lieutenant of the flagship Alfred, hoisted this flag to the masthead on December 3rd, 1775, and 1 month later, it was raised over the headquarters of General Washington at Cambridge, Massachusetts, in compliment, as he wrote, to the United Colonies. This flag, called the Continental Colors and the Grand Union, was never carried in the field by the Continental Land Forces, but it was used by the Navy as its exclusive ensign and was the first American flag to receive a salute of honor, a salute of 11 guns from the Fort of Orange in the Dutch West Indies. In response to the general demand for a banner more representative of our country, the Congress, on June 14th, 1777, provided that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes of alternating red and white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white on a blue field, representing a new constellation. It is generally believed that in May or June of 1776, a committee consisting of George Washington, Robert Morris, and George Ross commissioned Betsy Ross, a Philadelphia Quakeress, to make a flag from a rough design they left with her. It is said that she suggested that the stars have 5 points rather than 6. This starry banner was first flown at Fort Stanwix, called Fort Schuyler at the time, near the city of Rome, New York, on August 3rd, 1777, and was under fire 3 days later in the Battle of Oriskany, August 6, 1777, during a British and Indian attack. The first official salute to the Stars and Stripes was given on February 14, 1778, by France on the French coast when the Ranger, under command of John Paul Jones, was saluted by the French fleet. This flag, carried by the Ranger, was made by the young women of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, from stripes of their best-colored silk dresses and white wedding gown of a recent bride. It is said that this same Rangers flag was flown by Joan's ship Bonhomme Richard in its thrilling fight by moonlight upon the high seas with the British frigate Serapis. When the Serapis struck her colors, the immortal fame of John Paul Jones was ensured as the intrepid defender of the youthful republic. The original 13 stars and stripes represented the 13 colonies. In 1795, 2 additional stars and stripes were added to represent the admission to the Union of Vermont and Kentucky. Under this banner of 15 stars and stripes was fought the War of 1812. It was the sight of its flying over Fort McHenry on September 14, 1814, that inspired Francis Scott Key to write what was to become our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Miss Margaret Young, who cut the stars for their particular banner, was the mother of Henry Sanderson, the Grand Exalted Ruler of the Order of Elks in 1884. The Congress, on April 14, 1818, adopted a resolution that on and after July 4, 1818, the number of stripes should be 13, and that a blue field should carry 1 star for each of the 20 states in the Union, and that a new star should be added for each state thereafter admitted. Since 1818, there has been no change in the flag design, except that 28 new stars were added before July 4th, 1912. And this flag of 48 stars flew over this nation for 47 years until just before the Vietnam War. On July 4th, 1959, a star was added for Alaska, our first non-connected state, and a year later, Hawaii, our island state, added a 50th star. Our present flag of 50 stars and 13 stripes is accompanied by the POW MIA flag to recognize the plight and demise of a special group of our armed services, those who were prisoners of war or still remain missing in action. Please stand and salute our flag.
Please stand and salute our flag. Veterans are reminded they may render a hand salute. As this emblem is first in our hearts as loyal Americans, so is close to the altar as loyal Elks. The gentle breezes with lingering caress kiss the folds of no flag which can compare with its beauty. There is no such red in budding rose, in falling leaf or sparkling wine, no such white in April blossom, or crescent moon, or mountain snow, no such blue in woman's eye, in ocean's depth, or heaven's dome, and no such pageantry as the clustering stars and the streaming light in all of the spectrum of the sea and sky. Please be seated. Our flag is at once a history, a declaration, and a prophecy. It represents the American nation as it was at birth. It speaks to what it is today and holds the opportunity of the future, and to add stars to our glorious constellation. The benevolent and protective Order of Elks is the first and only fraternal body to require formal observance of Flag Day. In July 1908, the Grand Lodge of this order at Dallas, Texas, and the assembled provided for an annual national observance of Flag Day on the 14th of June each year. By making it mandatory upon a subrogated Lodge of Elks, the unique distinction as the strongest promoter of the flag, it is mostly becoming of the Order of Elks. This order is distinctly American. The American citizens are eligible to join in, and it has no foreign affiliations. It is linked to its destiny with the destiny of our country, and the flag is a symbol of self-dedication to God, country, and our fellow man. Please stand and join with me with sing. Oh. Please stand and join with me in singing God Bless America.
Are we doing it? God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Please be seated. I now again call on Brother Elk and past District Deputy Grand Exalted Ruler Tom Smith.
Thank you, Exalted Ruler Vinnie. The Stars and Stripes, flag of the United States of America, the worldwide hope of all who under God would be free to live and do his will. Upon its folds is written the story of America, the epic of the mightiest in all history. In the days when the peoples of the old world groveled in abject homage to the heresy of the divine right of kings, a new constellation appeared in the western skies, the Stars and Stripes symbolizing the divine right of all to life, liberty, happiness, and peace under endowment by their Creator. To what man or woman is given words adequate to tell the story of the building of this nation? That immortal story is written in the blood and sweat, in heroic deeds and unremitting toil, in clearing the primeval forests and in planting the vast prairies where once the coyote and buffalo roamed. Onward swept the nation, spanning wide rivers, leaping vast mountain ranges, leaving in its path villages and farms, factories and cities, till at last this giant nation stood astride the continent, from the Atlantic to the Pacific. This is the heritage of the people of the United States. It has been repurchased by each succeeding generation and must be re-won again and again until the end of time, lest it too shall pass, like the ancient empires of Greece and Rome. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. What was won at Lexington and Concord and Bunker Hill had to be repurchased at Ticonderoga and Yorktown. What John Paul Jones achieved upon the high seas in the War of Independence had to be repurchased by Commodore Perry on Lake Erie in the War of 1812. The prestige of Admiral Dewey's victory in Manila Bay in 1898 was re-won by the naval battles in the seas about the far distant islands of the Pacific after the sneak attacks upon Pearl Harbor and Manila in 1941. It summoned our country to assume its role in World War II. What our troops achieved under the Stars and Stripes at Chateau Thierry and Flanders in World War I, their sons were required to repurchase in World War II, in the bloody trek across northern Africa, on the beachheads of Europe, and the Battle of the Bulge. The flag our American men raised at Iwo Jima was the same flag later raised in the defense of Incheon, Busan, and Pork Chop Hill in far-off Korea. Then, another generation under the same flag bled to stem the threat of communism in far-off Vietnam. Our young people were again called to carry our flag in defense of a free world in the actions in Grenada and Panama. Willingly, our brave men and women carried our flag in honor of the American people into the battle and Operation Desert Storm. And who among us will forget the sight of firefighters raising our flag over the ruins of the World Trade Center, the military personnel draping our flag on the side of the Pentagon, or the citizens of Somerset County, Pennsylvania, placing our flag near the site where brave Americans died fighting the hijackers of Flight 93. No other symbol could have offered such comfort as we still today endure the horrors of that day. Today, the American Armed Forces carry the flag in the villages of Iraq, the mountains of Afghanistan, the jungles of the Philippines, and wherever terrorism may reside. Their struggle against the sponsors of terrorism is the hardest battle yet, and this threat to our nation and our way of life is certainly as great a challenge as our flag has ever seen. The resurgence of patriotism since September 11, 2001, has rekindled the respect for our flag. Today, we see the Star-Spangled Banner wherever we turn, on homes, businesses, automobiles, and billboards. Such displays stimulate our love for our nation and for what it stands. They remind us of the sacrifices being made by by the men and women of our armed forces around the world, and they are a tribute to the heroes of the police and fire departments the nation over. The greatest significance of this flag, however, lies in the influence it has had in the hearts and minds of millions of people. It has waved over unparalleled progress of a nation developing democratic institutions, scientific and technological knowledge, education and culture. It has served as a beacon for millions of poor and oppressed refugees and stands as a premise that underprivileged will not be forgotten. What is the meaning of the flag of the United States? There can never be a definitive answer to that question. There are people in this world who see it as a symbol of imperialism. Others see it as a destiny of the people. But reference to these and similar views of the flag was resolved by Woodrow Wilson when he said, "This flag, which we honor and under which we serve, is the emblem of our unity, our power, our thought, and shape of this nation. It has no other character than that which we give it from generation to generation. The choice is ours. Only love, true love of fellow man, can create the emblem and token of that love, the stars and stripes, the symbol of the American way of life. Our Father is God to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing. Long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light. Protect us by thy might, great God, our King." 15.
Thank you, Tom. Lodge Esquire, how shall we further honor our flag?
The flag is formally honored by the Pledge of Allegiance. This flag was written in 1892 by Francis Bellemere and published in the Youth's Companion as part of the Patriotic Companion of the magazine. The pledge did not become part of the flag until 1942, and in 1954, the phrase "under God" was added.
Let us stand and pledge ourselves never to forget the principles represented by this flag. Join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Haven't seen him.
Okay.
Anybody seen the mayor?
Oh,
Hi, Ben.
hey, Vin.
Come on down.
I now invite Honorable Vincent Cervoni, Mayor of Wallingford, to share his thoughts about our flag and our nation. Mayor Cervoni, let's see you, buddy.
Thank you, from one Vinny to another Vinny. So, the timing and the creation of our flag was nothing short of out of necessity. We heard through this ceremony what all the uses of our flag has been, and historically, flags stand at the front when we charge into battle. Our flag was preceded by a series of European nations who had flags that bore similarities, and our flag was created to uniquely resemble what we were about to do and what we were about to face. The flag was created, and we shortly went into battle with the flag at the front of us. And as we've heard, this flag has led us into battle over and over again, and has marked the results of our battles. Our very first battle, was for our freedom from tyranny. And so our flag continues as we approach a quarter of a millennium from its creation. And it is only improved as our nation has grown to the 50 states we are. So it continues to stand for all of the symbols you've heard about today. And most importantly, it stands for our unity in our quest for all the great things that we do as a nation. I want to thank the Elks and all of the standard bearers who have so well organized this event and made it possible for us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vinny. I'd like to thank all the honor guards who showed up today.
East Wallingford Volunteer Fire.
East Wallingford Volunteer Fire Department.
Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus. That's okay. And of course, ours, the Elk. Day, let us rededicate ourselves to the flag of the United States of America. And may the principles of charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity ever increase in each of us. Thank you. Color guard. I know he had a busy morning. There is a proud history of the evolution of our flag. Brother Elk. No. Yeah, is that right? He wasn't here. Brother Elk Sigran offered the original observance of Flag Day on the date 140 years ago. President Woodrow Wilson decreed, the Flag Day shall be on June 14th, 119 years ago. Our Grand Lodge mandated that Flag Day be observed on June 14th, 117 years ago. And the Wallingford Lodge number 1365 began our observance of Flag Day 106 years ago. And 76 years ago, Brother Elk, President Harry Truman, signed the proclamation establishing June 14th as Flag Day. The Benevolent Protective Order of Elks started this tribute to our nation and the flag and to the privilege of keeping it going. Thank you for everyone who's in attendance. Thank you again to all the Elks and the color guards, the mayor. Thank you to Tom for putting this together. Thank you for Sandra for singing. Thank you for Joe organizing it. God bless America. God bless our military and first responders. Ceremony is concluded.
Happy birthday to the Army.
Happy birthday to the Army.
All right, color guards, retire colors. Thank you all for coming.